too.
Hello out there in YouTube land, Rival here. Thanks for stopping by. I got a little project on the turntable for you this week. This is technically, I guess you could say, like a refurbishing. So what you got here is a knife from a really good friend of mine. One of those guys who's always there exactly when you need him and has been for a very long time. Dude is known I've been playing around with and fixing knives and making knives for quite a long time, but never really asked me to do anything for him. So when we were on a camping trip a couple weeks back and I saw this beat-up old camp knife at the bottom of his box, I asked him about it, and he's like, oh yeah, that camp knife, I've always had it around. It's kind of in the bottom of the box now. It's gotten beaten up over the years. It needs a new edge, needs a lot of work, but never really quite wanted to throw it away. Asked him if I could take it, said I'd upgrade it for him. Didn't want anything in return. It was one of those times where I realized, hey, I could do something cool for a really good friend of mine, a guy who's never hesitated to do something for me. So over the last couple of weeks, the only thing that he ever asked was that I leave the patina on the blade if I could. And it's definitely got a bit of a patina. So here's the old sheath, actually. When I got this knife, the handle was cracked in half. It was held together by like duct tape and gaffer tape. It had no edge whatsoever on it. And this crappy little flimsy sheath. So once we got everything stripped off, I actually took a couple of pictures of what I was working with. So at the end of this video, I'll throw those work in progress pictures up. So we redid everything. I mean, you can't just redo the handle and stuff, then it didn't fit in the sheath, so I just had to make a new sheath and everything. So this is the original patina. It's a hidden tang construction, which I'd never done before, so that was a new experience. So I've got, as you can see, G10, orange G10 liners inside there, and that's how I created that, the pocket for the hidden tang. It is a white oak burl, so cut from the knot of an oak. Pretty awesome wood. This guy is definitely an outdoorsy kind of guy, not quite a G10 kind of guy. I thought he'd appreciate the real wood. And I haven't worked with it too much, so it was a good opportunity for me too. That oak, man, it is really, really freaking cool. I mean, the grains and everything really go in all kinds of directions. So we've got the brass pins up front, and it's a hidden tang, so the tang really only goes to about here. This is more for show than anything else, but it is a mosaic pin laid in there as well. So I literally had a blank canvas because this didn't have a handle on it to speak of. It just was a wrapping of tape around it, so I didn't know what the original handle shape for this blade was. I clipped the point just ever so slightly. You can see some of my work there. Just to give it an actual pointy point. It was almost round when I got it. Other than that, I left the patina on it. At some point, somebody took it to a grinder or took a grinder to it. You can see kind of a rough plunge job there. I don't know what brand this knife was. I know, he said it's at least 20 years old. He had it since high school. We went to high school in the 90s. So, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine as to what kind of steel's on there, but I put a brand new edge on it, and it is hair shaving sharp at this point. So going back to the handles, once I had it epoxied and pinned together, it was just a solid chunk of wood, so I tried to come up with a shape that was ergonomic and comfortable. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I think it fits the knife as far as just being a round camp knife. Being a utilitarian handle. He's got much bigger hands than mine, so I wanted to make sure the choil and everything else was big enough to accommodate that, and that's not a problem. I did go down to the tang right here when I was contouring the handle. That's a mistake of mine. Again, first time dealing with a hidden tang handle, but I showed him this knife the other day, and before I had the sheath or anything done for it, but I just kind of teased him with it a little, and he was beyond ecstatic, so I'm pretty happy with how it turned out overall. Really well balanced too. I mean, just towards the front there, yeah. Yeah, I mean the balance point is still right about there. I mean I tried to give it as good of an overall shape and balance as I could. As far as comfortable in the hand, that's why I put that rear ramp on there to match the front ramp, and it is definitely comfortable. It's contoured. contoured this way. There you go. You can kind of see it. So it is, very much 3D. Very comfortable in that respect. Give you a shot of this side. Again, that white oak burl is just really, really freaking cool. Especially when you see the grains down here. They were bookend scales, so meaning it was a block chopped in half, so you've got matching patterns on both sides. And then on the edges, it just kind of flows through. The Hunter Orange G10. I know eventually he's going to end up using this as a hunting knife and a camp knife together, so hopefully it'll take a little bit more pride in it and have it with his primary gear instead of his backup gear. So Kydex sheath, pretty straightforward. I mean, just pancake style. I made my own belt loop that's removable, so if he wants to just have it as a camp knife, he can, or if he wants to throw it on his belt if he's hunting or something like that, he can do that too. Definitely solid retention. I mean, you can hear it snap in there. It's not going anywhere. So kind of cut towards the top to accommodate the fact that we had this thumb ramp. Otherwise, it really would have locked it in if I had tried to leave it somehow. So I don't know what more there is to say. I mean, literally everything is done by hand, and on this one, interesting enough, it was completely freehand. I didn't have any, frames or anything like that from the old knife to work on. I didn't even have the contours from the original scales to work on. So, a pretty fun project overall. I'm pretty stoked to be able to give this back to him. And like I said, see him using it. I mean, we've gone camping in the past, and I know he goes a lot. He goes a lot of hunting, bow hunting, rifle hunting, all that good stuff here in Wisconsin. So, it will definitely get a lot of use. And I know since he's had it for 20 years, hopefully it'll last him 20 more. Plenty of more stuff on the turntable for you guys coming up, so just keep on checking me out. Thanks for stopping by. Like, subscribe. Peace.